Okay, so where I left off yesterday was that last time we went through the lockdown or the online school. We weren't really prepared, and so class was pretty easy. You can expect that if we go into distance learning again, that we will be prepared and you will have plenty of opportunity to learn as normal as if you were in class. And some of you, if you choose to learn from home now, you will experience that, even though all of you are going to um, be interacting with me online mostly. Yes, we'll be in the same class, but I'll mostly be there to help you, and you will be watching videos that I create, like this one. I expect you to come prepared to take notes. I want you to write down uh, essays occasionally. Um, I expect you to have your homework done, your assignments turned in, and that will be mostly on Canvas. Um, and I, I expect that your body is clean. Yes, I understand that that's kind of a given, but expectations are better communicated rather than assumed. So, for the sake of that, I say your body is clean, your mind is refreshed. Yes, I want you to sleep enough because you can learn better when you have slept. At your age, 9 hours is what the recommended amount is. I expect that you come on time. Now, this habit will determine a lot of your future, meaning um, if you cannot arrive to something on time, you will have a hard time building healthy relationships, such as employers. Uh, I did get fired one time from a job for not notifying my employer that I wasn't coming in. Just once. It was a pretty tough lesson. I expect you to follow instructions, and this includes listening, and sometimes I'll say, make a note of that, or put that in your notes. Other times I won't, but I expect you to take notes because what I have to say I believe is important. I believe it will help you. And if I ask you to do something, don't argue with me. Don't uh, don't give me reasons why you shouldn't do it. Just do it. Okay? I'm not a tyrant. I'm your teacher, and I'm responsible for you. And please do participate. Going back to following instructions, uh, if you're listening, you will know what questions to ask because if you don't understand, I expect you to ask questions. I also expect you to answer questions. I expect you to learn, and sometimes I expect you to teach. That's kind of what answering questions does. You're teaching your peers. As well as myself, I learn from my students every day. I expect you to read, write, speak, listen, and above all, work. One of the most valuable lessons you will learn at school is how to work. Okay. If you can be trusted to do little things, you can be trusted to do bigger things. I remember the classic example of this guy that got hired to be a truck driver, and his first job was to, no, it wasn't to drive a truck, it was to clean the bathroom at the office. And he thought that was odd, uh, but he did it, and he showed up every day, he did it, and he sat at the office, and he did menial chores, weeding, spraying weeds, keeping the bathroom clean. And he asked his boss, well, I signed up to drive a truck. Why are you having me do these things? And he said that if I can't trust you to do simple things, why would you expect me to trust you with a multi-million-dollar machine that can do millions of dollars of damage? Okay? So the point is, we as your teachers are asking you to do simple things to help you develop the ability to do little things, to develop the ability to trust yourself and have others trust you. Okay? What we ask you to do has a purpose. Okay? It's your choice, but keep in mind you also choose your consequence when you choose not to do what we ask. Or as they say, you've made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. Um, and a little word about habits. In early childhood, you may lay the foundation of poverty or riches, industry, that should be or, industry or idleness, good or evil, by the habits to which you train your children, speaking to parents and teachers. Teach them right habits then, and their future life is secure. Okay? Now, I wish I could pause this video. The point is, no matter what station you enjoy in life right now, whether you are in poverty or in wealth, you still are responsible to develop positive habits if you want to maintain or escape your current status in life. Okay, and we're going to watch, if I can click on that, we're going to watch that video. I'm going to have to exit. Okay, let's go. Come on, hyperlink. I'm just going to pause this really quick. Okay, we're just going to watch this video to emphasize the importance of your decision making right now.
These are roughly 28,835 jelly beans. I counted out 500 of them and used those to weigh the rest. In this pile, there's one jelly bean for each day that the average American will live. You might have more beans in your life, or maybe less, but on average, this is the time we have. Here's a single bean. It's your very first day. A special day, but kind of a rough day on everyone involved. Add 364 more and you have the first year of your life. Now, for a sense of scale, here are your first 15 years, 5,475 days, which brings us to the threshold of adulthood. And at that moment, this is the time that we have left. And this is, on average, what we will do with all that time. We will be asleep for a total of 8,477 days. If we're lucky, some of that time we'll be sleeping next to someone we love. We will be in the process of eating, drinking, or preparing food for 1,635 days. We'll be at work, hopefully doing something satisfying, for the equivalent of 3,202 of those days. 1,099 days will be spent commuting or traveling from one place to another, maybe a little bit more if you live in LA. On average, we will watch television in one form or another for a total of 2,676 days. Household activities, like chores and tending to our pets and shopping, will take another 1,576 days. And we will care for the needs and well-being of others, our friends and family, for 564 days. We'll spend 671 days bathing, grooming, and doing all other bathroom-related activities. And another 720 days will go to community activities, like religious and civic duties, charities, and taking classes. After we remove all those beans, this is what remains. This is the time that we have left. Time for laughing, swimming, making art, going on hikes, text messages, reading, checking Facebook, playing softball, maybe even teaching yourself how to play the guitar. So what are you going to do with this time? How much of it do you think you've already used up? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? What if you just had one more day? What are you going to do today?
Annette, that groundhog's back.
Alright, so hopefully that gave you inspiration. That was my intent. Another quote about habits from the same person. Habit through their commencement, though in their commencement, is like the filmy line of the spider trembling at every breeze, may in the end prove as links of tempered steel, binding a deathless being to eternal felicity or woe. Essentially, what you guys choose to do today and tomorrow and the next day, they will build on each other. And eventually, your habits that you form, just like on the previous slide, talked about idle industry or idleness, good or evil. The habits you form today are going to be very difficult to overcome in the future if you don't change now. Okay, that first 15 years of life, you start to form habits. Okay. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about school in general. So, an allegory is a story to illustrate a wider purpose. I'm going to relate all of you to a molecule of water that falls from the sky. Sooner or later, the molecule is going to end up in a lake. Okay? The successful student is going to study deeply or make it to the bottom of the dam, turn the turbine, and they will escape. And maybe they'll make it to the reservoir of college. Maybe go to graduate school, doctorate school. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that these educational establishments are the signal for success. They will help you if that's what you choose. But high school, most everyone in the United States goes through high school. There are some people who choose not to study deeply. They choose not to pass through the educational experiences designed to help them grow, designed to help them learn. And they, metaphorically speaking, remain in high school for the rest of their lives. They never make it out to the ocean where they can communicate with the rest of humanity, where they can expand, where they can learn, where they can grow, where they can make a difference to the rest of the world. So I encourage you to delve deeply in what we ask, to go the extra mile. Okay? Don't stay where it's comfortable in the warm sun. Okay? Don't stay there on the top of the water. Okay? The only way that you can make it there is through effort. The only way you can make it to the deepest, most successful places in high school and in your future is through effort, through work. All right, let's talk about procedures. Okay? Yes, I want you to have earbuds. Yes, you're going to have iPads. Sometime we'll have MacBooks. Your personal electronics like cell phones and whatever doohickeys they're coming out with today. The rule of thumb here is be respectful to myself and your classmates. A lot of this course is going to be taught online, most of it in fact. And for that you will want to have earbuds. However, we will have some class discussions. And if I need to talk to you for one reason or another, I expect you to take your earbuds out and listen. And if for some reason I need you to only have one earbud at a time, which is what the common practice was last year, please follow that instruction. Ms. Hardy is trying to have the email unlocked so that you can email each other again. Don't misuse that. It is extremely inconvenient for you so that you can't communicate with each other, and it limits your ability to communicate with me and other teachers. When you enter the classroom, go to your seat. You're not to be wandering around the school. You get your breakfast or you get your whatever it is you've got to do in the morning, and then you go right to class. You're not going to be leaving the classroom until the end of the day. If you have a bus, you're excused first, and then each class has a different time that they'll be excused. So just follow those instructions. If you got to go to the bathroom, ask me, ask another teacher in the room. One person leaves at a time. If you want your stuff messed with, then mess with other people's stuff. Now, I say that sarcastically. I don't want you to mess with anyone else's stuff. Okay? Don't mess with my stuff. Be respectful. Again, give due politeness to each other. Yeah, if we have an assembly, which I doubt we will most likely stick together. You're not going to go seek out your friends. We'll probably sit together, but you will have to go there with me or whatever teacher is in the room. I really doubt there's going to be guest teachers this year. Miss Hardy told that to all the teachers, and so it will most likely be the aides that cover for us if we teachers get sick. So be respectful to them. They have the same authority as we do, even when we're there, but especially when we are not there. If you have a pencil and you need to sharpen it, don't do it while someone is talking. Again, don't disrupt the class. Hall pass, again, one person leaves at a time. We don't have one. I wish I had a toilet seat I could send with you, but I don't. The bell is not going to ring. I already covered that. Bring water so you don't get dehydrated. Stand up between classes. We will probably do group work, and that will be in the form of having a group shared Google Doc or a Zoom meeting with breakout sessions, which I haven't figured out how to do yet, but it'll probably come to that. Be on time, please, especially during your first hour, because we will have a lunch count, meaning the cafeteria needs to know how many people to cook lunch for and how many to bring to the class. So if you have school lunch or you bring a home lunch, we have a form that we fill out to tell the cafeteria. So if you want to eat, you need to be there and be there on time. We still take roll throughout the day. Each teacher does. Yeah, we will do individual work mostly. I'll be recording videos and you'll watch them. You'll do some kind of activity, whether it be writing, reading something, answering questions about it. You'll be listening, and you might even have to create videos and speak to me in video form. That is especially for the online students who will be watching this from home. If we do have a discussion, or if you do have a question while I'm talking or another student is talking, again, raise your hand. That's just common sense respect. And I get that we are enthusiastic about things occasionally, and I'll just wait, and I will stop talking, and the longer I have to wait, the more time you will have to spend on the assignment at home. So assignments, speaking of which, they're due on the day that they're signed. Okay. If you turn in late work, you have to email me, and if you don't turn it in within 2 weeks of the date assigned, I can't and I won't accept it. That's a school-wide mandate Miss Hardy gave us, and we all agreed to it. So there will be no procrastinating. Last fourth quarter last year, I gave work last minute to make up a lot of assignments. That's not going to happen this year. You will stay caught up, and if you don't, you'll be in summer school. It's as simple as that. Now, I talked to some of my classes about the swearing jar. They didn't like the idea. I probably won't do it. If you want to do it, the swearing jar is essentially, if you swear in class, you get to donate a quarter for your first offense, 50 cents for your first, second, and it doubles for that. And I will be doing puzzles for those who don't swear. And well, if you can solve the puzzles, they're going to be difficult. If you can solve the puzzles, you get the money in the jar. And that's your reward for good behavior, essentially, in addition to raising the citizenship grade, getting an H. I think we're all set by default at an S, so you'll need to earn that. If you're absent, the best way is to email me. The best way to find out what happened. And I mean, since I am recording these videos and they're going to be on Canvas, you shouldn't have too many questions that aren't answered by the videos and aren't answered by the descriptions online. I don't foresee any problems with no names since you're not handing anything in on paper this year. I also don't foresee you're going to need any other materials besides the ones you bring because we're not sharing materials. I do have books, which I don't think I'm going to be lending out this year. However, some of you may have a book that you need to return to me from last year. Please do so quickly. I have a list which I may include and send out in an email to those students who do owe me a book. But we are going to be using the Sora app, and there are plenty of books there. There are books on Project Gutenberg. You can listen to books on LibriVox. I mean, there are a lot of books for your reading pleasure. So, yeah, a lot of teachers are kind of off balance. Because of COVID and administration as well. We ask you to be patient as we create new procedures and get rid of old ones and get rid of ones that don't work. Also, if you have a suggestion, please feel free. We'll pass it on. Please feel free and share it. We'll pass it on, and your opinion is helpful as well. And I'll be giving you the disclosure statement. Actually, let's just look at that real quick. How much time are we at here? Wow, this is really a long video. So I should probably, I guess I can pause it. Well, no, I think I'll stop it.